Welcome all to another episode of the C64 Round Up, your concise guide to the latest releases for your Commodore 64. And just as I was thinking that I would not have anything much to show in this episode, guess what has shown up? Yep, the release of Eye of the Beholder is imminent. The development team headed by Andreas Larsson has declared the C64 conversion to be feature complete, and is in the final phase of its quality assurance testing, with the goal to make the game digitally available by mid-October 2022. Was it worth the wait? Well, spoiler alert, undoubtedly it was, as this adaptation is nothing short of spectacular. Fans of the RPG dungeon crawling genre are in for a treat. For those of you that are not too familiar with the game, Eye of the Beholder is a dungeon crawler style RPG presented with a first-person view of the game world. You start off with a band of 4 adventurers and some basic weapons, and your objective is to make your way through the dungeons of Waterdeep to defeat the ancient evil that plagues the city above. The dungeon layouts can get complicated and confusing, especially when using the teleportal type devices. But luckily an auto map feature has been built into the C64 adaptation, something lacking from the original Amiga and PC DOS versions. The inclusion of the auto map makes the game far more accessible. As you navigate through the dungeon levels, your party will come across a myriad of creatures and monsters for you to battle. Using melee attacks with the occasional spell should be sufficient to see you succeed in the earlier levels, but later on you need to give thought to not only the choice of weapons and spells you need to use, but character placement within the group also becomes important. In addition to combat, all dungeon levels will feature some form of puzzle element that go beyond just locating and setting off switches. You'll be hunting down hidden alcoves and investigating every marking on walls, as these can provide you with weapon upgrades, food rations, and enabling special quests. When you start off the game, you'll be given an opportunity to select the class and attributes of your 4 starting party members. At other points of the game, you will come across other adventurers who you can invite to join your party. While this will allow you to have up to 6 members in your group, you need to consider the characteristics of any new party member, as any member with only melee attack capabilities will be somewhat of limited use if they're not placed in the front line. From the outset, you can see that the game has been lovingly presented from a graphical perspective. For those of you who have been closely following the development of this conversion, you would be aware of graphician Oliver Lindau spending a great deal of time painstakingly perfecting the game graphics pixel by pixel. The results are nothing short of breathtaking. Sound-wise, outside of the wonderful intro music rendition, things are a little sparse. Eye of the Beholder contains a bestiary that provides a wonderful digital compendium on the creatures that can be found within the game, and a built-in game save functionality it will no doubt put into good use, as I suggest that you save often as you progress through the game. The game supports dual screen display setups for the Commodore 128, where the second screen can be used to constantly display the auto map, and takes advantage of the 2 MHz CPU speed while in C64 mode. Eye of the Beholder is a deep RPG experience. Managing and upgrading character abilities, discovering secret passages, unravelling devious puzzles, and the multi-dimensional combat mechanism all work together so well to provide any RPG enthusiast with many hours of enthralling gameplay. Eye of the Beholder is expected to be available on the CSDB website for free by the middle of October 2022. The game will be presented as a digital CRT image. But for those of you who are interested in getting your hands on a tangible version of the game, then the good news is that the development team will be running a Kickstarter campaign at the start of October where you can pre-order a physical cartridge and box. Okay, time for a little bit of news. New C64 coder Russell Mills and his team continue to work on their upcoming multi-genre arcade adventure game, Yeti Mountain, and I'm pleased to be able to show off some of the latest exclusive footage of the game. The backstory to the game is that your friend Chris Pariah has gone missing from the slopes of Yeti Mountain, and you suspect that he might have met with foul play, so you head on to the ski resort and see if you can unravel the mystery behind his disappearance. The first stage involves a quest exploration style gameplay that incorporates 3 different mini-ski events. You go around the resort talking to people, trying to uncover clues, and locating various items. The ski engine used within the game is one of the best you'll find on an 8-bit platform. The second stage switches across to a multi-directional scrolling platformer as your search leads you to an underground cavern. Containing 4 different environmental zones, ability upgrades, and switch-based puzzle elements, this second stage looks amazing. Yeti Mountain is set to feature 4 stages in total, and I can't wait to see how the last 2 are going to turn out. Yeti Mountain is currently slated for an independent digital release in 2023, with a possibility of a physical release with an established software publisher soon after. Frank Nigerman has launched a new C64 Tools website, a great online resource for C64 developers and enthusiasts. Not only does the site provide a couple of high-res character set editors and a couple of sprite editors which are all easy to use, but he also includes disc sleeve editors that allow you to spruce up your old dodgy Dave collection of disc games by creating customized disc sleeves. You can make your old disc collection go from this to this. Frank tells me that he plans on adding a disc label editor as well as other additional tools such as a D64 Commander type tool and a multicolour character set editor. Go on and have yourself some fun by visiting c64-tools.com. Cytronic Software has officially added Captain Ishtar by Alf Ingve to their release schedule. Captain Ishtar is developed off an enhanced version of the shoot-'em-up construction kit engine and is set to provide space action gaming broken into 4 parts that features both first-person rail shooting action along with horizontal scrolling run-and-gun style of gameplay. The latest news on the game that we hear is that it's about to receive a digital release within the next month or so, with a physical release taking place at a later date. Issue 21 of KNA Plus magazine is now out. The latest issue of this great Commodore-centric magazine features a space theme with plenty of great game reviews, news, retrospective articles, game developer interviews, and many other interesting topics covering all things Commodore. KNA Plus is certainly one of the leading retro-themed publications with a great long history, and best of all, everything is presented professionally in an A4 format. Head on over to the KNA Plus web store to order your copy now. Let's take a moment to check out a couple of older new games that are easy to pick up and play, but will have you playing them time and time again.
Welcome to
P-Zero Snake by Antonio Savona is one of the best single button games going around on the C64, and is a great variation to the classic mobile game Snake. The objective is simple. You guide a snake that can only move in a circular motion as you eat the dots littered around the level while avoiding hazards. As you eat each dot, your snake grows in length, but the head of the snake is the only part that is vulnerable. To control your snake, press the joystick button to steer the snake counterclockwise, while releasing the button rotates the snake clockwise. Alternating between these 2 basic movements allows the snake to be steered around the screen. P-Zero Snake is so addictive but challenging at the same time. There is a wide variety of enemies, obstacles, and movement-altering terrains to discover. Simply a great game. Another simple single button game that is fun to play is Pixel Skater, released by Digital Monastery back in 2014. You control a skateboarding pixel character as you try to guide him safely through each of the fixed single screen levels. Simply press the joystick button to make your skater leap over obstacles. The game starts off at a slow pace, but your skater will speed up from certain intervals and things start to get progressively faster as you make your way through the deeper levels. There are 60 levels in total for you to try and navigate through, but the game also offers an endless mode option for you to play through as a high score chaser. Link to the game can be found in the video description. Time to check out some new releases. Carsten Sinkel has converted the VIC-20 game Subchase over to the Commodore 64. Subchase is a single-screen arcade game where you control a horizontally moving warship at the top of the screen. Your objective is to drop depth charges to destroy submarines moving under the water while avoiding torpedoes. You can also drop a shockwave bomb to clear the screen of all enemies and projectiles coming in your direction. You start off with 2 depth charge launchers, and destroying special targets will give you access to additional launchers. This is a very well made conversion. Not only have additional elements been added to the gameplay, but thankfully Carsten has gone to the effort to visually make the game up to modern day standards. Subchase 64 is available as a digital download from itch.io. Are you guys up for an extreme challenge? Well, I invite you to try out Breadless, a vertical scrolling shooter that is built using the standard shoot 'em up construction kit. There is a deep backstory to the game that is a little hard to follow, but in essence you take control of a digital avatar as you venture into the metaverse to collect cryptocurrency with the hope that you reach the end where lies a gateway to reality and real life existence. You can play as either P1 or P2, based on which controller port your joystick is active on. P1 is a faster ship, while P2 has greater firepower. And let me tell you, this is one tough game. I would have easily had over 50 tries before I was finally able to get through to the second level of this game. The game is highly reliant on you memorising the layout of the game world. You need to quickly follow specific paths through corridors as the game throws dead ends after dead ends in your direction. At times, you need to pull off near pixel perfect timing to get through safely, and you do all this while not hitting the walls and having to deal with enemies. Putting aside its extreme difficulty curve, the game is well put together for a C-out game and contains a bit of variation in gameplay. It moves about well, and I like how there is a proxy time limit for getting rid of boss type enemies as the game starts to scroll again if you take too long. But boy is this game hard. I'd love for you guys to go and download this free game and try it out for yourselves. Let me know if you agree that the game is hard, or whether I'm just simply being an old wuss. The download link to Breadless is in the video description. And that is a wrap on another episode. It's been a slower month in the C64 scene, but I hope you enjoyed some of the different content that I've been able to put together for you. Thank you so much to all viewers who provide RGN with additional support via Patreon and Ko-fi. Until next time, bye for now.